Hi, in this part we understand component in Angular. So this is my code editor and this is my Angular application, right? So just drag this application and drop inside a code editor, right? I'm using a Visual Code, right? So let's run our application first, right? So hold the shift key, right click and open command window it here and just write a command ngser --, open and hit enter. So this will run our application, right? So now application is now running, right? So to understand a component, just go to app.component.html, right? So just double click and remove all the htmls from here and let's run our let's refresh our browser and now it's blank, right? So let's again you need to remove, right? So let's remove the html and refresh. Now it's blank. So next thing we need to go app.component.ts, right? Type a script file, right? And this is this selector app root, right? This is the custom HTML selector Angular providers, right? So let's go to index.html and this is our selector. All the HTML, all the application will be in between, right? App root and app root should be closed. So let's close this app root, right? So control S and let's close it. So selector is important. Next thing is app.component.html, which is here, right? And app.component.css, which is this one, right? So three thing, and this is the title. So let's write some HTML in app.component.html. So h1 tag, and inside I'm typing hello world, right? And let's refresh our browser and you can see hello world, right? So if you wanted to transfer the data to a component to a HTML, so you don't need to do anything, right? So title is our variable, right, of the class app component, right? And I'm changing the title of our application, right? So learn Angular, so this is the title. So we will use the template for formatting in Angular, just curly braces, double curly braces, and paste the title. So it will show learn Angular from component. So let's learn Angular here. So also it will change in our application as well, in HTML as well, right? So it's pretty simple, right? It will transfer the data component to HTML files. So this is the component, right? So we will create our own component, right? So again go to application and hold shift key and right click and open command window here, right? So we will generate our own component. So you need to type ng generate component and component should be home. I mean any name of your component you can give, right? About services, these are the two components which we have created previously, and now we are creating the home component, right? So let's enter and okay, home component has been generated, right? So let's close it and let's close it, and you can see in our app.component.html, just remove this one, right? So let's go to a home, right? And we have home component.ts, right? So this selector app.home app home selector is important. So just type home app home selector, right? And you can see home works, right? So it's pretty easy, right? So let's give a so this is homework, right? So let's remove this one app.component.ts and just type h1, right? And this is the home work, right? So let's refresh and you can see home work, right? So let's give some style to our h1, right? So just we wanted to know how HTML I mean just CSS work, right? So I'm typing a CSS property it here, right? So color, I'm giving a blue color, right? And semicolon, save, and let's see, it's good. So just change the font size is 50, and you can see they are more larger than previously. So it's pretty easy, right? uh, to understand components, right? Just remember one command to create a component. So let's understand one more time, right? So just go to app.component.ts, and this selector is important. Just go to index.html, and this is the selector of our root, right? And then just go to HTML file app.component.html, and here is our another selector of our component, right? So app home, right? Just go to home and just go to our application, right? To create a component, right? And just type a command ng generate component and component name here, right? So it will automatically generate, when you enter, automatically it will generate a component. It's like a home component, about component, whatever you want, right? Anything you can generate, and that component will be app src app, and this component will be here like home, about us, right? So let's go to home, right? And this is about component. Previously we have seen uh, home. So at this time we are about component. So app about, right? This is our selector, and let's change this selector app home to app about, right? So it will show the content from about container, right? So let's see, about work, right? So it's pretty easy, right? So if you have any questions and doubt, you can write a comment, right? And don't forget to subscribe my channel, and next part I will see some more